Impact News ki Manipuri Abroad Diaspora Speak program asibu miyeng tabiribu mayambu ahanbada Joyshree Usham na taram nokchari. Anobo chahigi ahanba episode asida akoina pujarakliba guest asi miyam da shaktak chage. Mahagasi Manipuri born Chinese ni. Mingwana panjarbada Dr. Dominic Mao. Mahagasi hauzik Harvard University gi Life Sciences Department haibatare. Gi molecular and cellular biology amadi chemical and physical biology gi advisor oina phambubiri loinana Harvard University gi undergraduate mahiroi chanirom da takpi tambiri Dr. Dominic Mao ji molecular and cellular biology gi lecturer ni mahaki haurakfam Manipur mahaki hometown bunukshiba oina Harvard University da mahangna tamjakiba magi knowledge magi experience mayam adu khogi Manipur gi miyam da students amasung oja sing da share tongning bagi wakhalon da nungsi bagi wakhalon da educational outreach program ama pudna lakli hiram asigi matang da wari sanajage ahanbada Dr. Dominic Mao taram nokchari. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us here today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Adagi Dr. Haragego, Dr. Mao. Like I know the introduction the Manipuri Chinese and Hai. So yes. I'm curious. Could you please tell us about your background, brief background go miyam the Kanganshi?
Yeah, definitely. Both my parents are Chinese. I come from a Chinese family. Aduzu Popadi Manipur de Pole. Grandparents na China they migrate to India. Akoi mana Gujarat pokpa. Akoi pabung na sida pokpa.
Namagti Chinese nga toiba.
Chinese toiba. Ada Manipur si polpani charok pasu Manipur dani. Sahi trantruk Manipur de lerame. Aina Manipur thadok puse 1996 da. Ada schooling to formative years hai tare. Nursery dagi class 10 ba Manipur de tame.
Kari school da.
Don Bosco chingmerong da. Ada in a formative years pan bagi maram sina nursery dagi class 10 bo school ama tang da tam ba have sidi tinarak pa imanu myam semak pa bond myam do adu permanent oina khalle kai ngadi akoi gi hujik tinari ba imanu ba singsu like akoi gi Don Bosco gi group like jai WhatsApp ki adu aina Boston da ayu hot pan messages changa muk leram gani every day.
Every day.
That's how close everybody is. Aina sidala kanda I never have a shortage of kadai da laini haibdi pasu thok thokte.
Manipur da Dr. Dominic ki kano relatives kanam ta later bro.
Extended family khara laiba male in khanbada but no mostly everybody's gone. But Aina mentioned that we were Imanaba sing, Makoigi parents sing, it's like family. Aina Makoida Laikanda, Imanabagi parents to Ima Babung Babakore, right? So it's just family. Aina see education programs a plan Tokanda, Aigi Lebam, Aisungwa Wade. Aina I take it for granted. Imanab give me the Laini Haina. Even now I'm put up in my best friend's house. You know. So yeah.
Right. From the Dr. Mao na huzikana 16 chahi tara sweet 16 ho Manipur da lerame Don Bosco da tamae adi matung da kano bachelor's degree na kano St. Xavier College adi mathang da master's degree na kano da Gujarat University da tawra pamale doctor si adi matang da zukra educational kano journey da zukra miyam da khangan si.
So sidagi sala matung da a college study, I was interested in biochemistry. Marama a medicine tamge su khalame, but then some school that like taming I discovered something about myself. I discovered that I am very interested in knowing how things work. Adugi curiosity do laibagi pure sciences. Pursue
applied nataba.
Okay. So I bachelor's and master's in biochemistry the tawre and then my plan was always to go and do a PhD.
Yeah. After masters kano the PhD in the University of Cincinnati degi tawe haina kano gi doctor gi profile degi hapet yengma phangjare adu chatringai mamang da before you went to US for your PhD chahi ahum mukti India da dum atei activities to involve tawrga ler bo male Dr. Mao si adigi matang de zukhar thamina bhaijagi
yamna diverse oiba range of activities tawe agi masters loiraga ai diagnostic lab ama da thabak tawrame adu the research tawrame matama adu aigi hobby oina passion oina ai sei yam pami aduga nursery dagi hauna non stop masters bo school da tamak pagi aina kitang alternative trajectory ama chatkena isai tawe for 3 years Gujarat the band aribam lay the band dugi original members amma khaktang ngai re ko drummer ne and he's like at that time he was 55 or something like he's a very senior guy Purple Flower have Ahmedabad the band labor the adu band duga ai khong aduga so a lot of shows aduga guitars ugar takpirame for a little while because I was always interested in teaching.
So master till your masters I'm busy studies all book aduda dum lerga 3 years chahi ahum de admaina extracurricular activities and mind divert tawre adu tawra matungda PhD gi damakta US satle chalaga Dr. Mao ji hozik Dr. Mao gi PhD post doctoral work sida na akhoi a famous co-founder of Messelson style experiment DNA replication experiment dugi Messelson na mentor to we haibase akhoi tawa phangje madugi experience zu miyam na khangan se
Matthew Messelson haiba mi se yamna famous web scientist ne scientific community da mana contribute to was tabak yame magi discoveries mayam ada mana job ad hapakanda aidi maze aigi science idol nena sahi mayam lerame since graduation textbook ta magi experiment parak pada magi thabak to yam aingon the resonate to gibagi yam pam gibagi ada ai ad to parakanda ain apply tawre ada aidi apply to bodo maybe it'll take a few days before I hear back or something ada manadi phone the direct call tawre ada aidi expect of the cell phone the science ki matang da wari sanare the yamna sana gibdo aina khangba magi lab ta thabak tawradi mentorship to yamna science the yamaru webnina I thought it was a good fit mana position doing on the pire and every day in lab it was a lot of fun me am the science am kinai I know there are many kids who are scared of it but it's just discovery right it's just discovery ada ma Nelson say aduma tamda di aina my lab join to kanda he was 83 or something so I'm senior way but every day he comes in lot of energy ko aduga ngasi kari tamjige taminaba not just aina no on the talk but not about like what do we learn today haina numtigi sangakani coffee empire you know and that to me is very exciting because here is somebody discovery mayam later but humility the you like you know he comes to me hoy atuga experiment tawraga result to pull up na yengmina kanda just angang masana sanong pot phangmagi excitement ki type to still as an 83-year-old man he had that you know he still has it today last year magi 88th birthday celebrate tawi and when I talk to him still magi same passion you know so one of the best times of my life
I think me kharagi da maktadi students kharagi da maktadi Harvard University da khong ta ba phawzi mogi dream oiramgani haidi mi myam adu da phangwa nate adugi mathakta hoji famous personality scientist minor mentor to phangwaji yamna harauninga yam chawthukningai ne haijage Dr. Mao adagi Dr. Nazu panbigre ko science se students singna yamna kiba subject oy isamaksu science student na tamnina ayo science ari very technical kiba phawdo ko karino kan adum chemistry physics mayam do ubu dum kiba phaw pawzu adum bhap ta bangam da bukum ko adu sigi misconception like we say is it because of oza singna takpi ba haitabagira natraga karigidamaktano then how should we perceive science science se kamaina lawradi interesting or kadagi students ingi damakta exploratory science from the kamaina sang kadagi adu do thambi
science e mayam na di subject ne lawe science e subject natte science e methodology ne
methodology
ko nang na suppose aingonda wari ama haire some statement you make adu statement do chumbra lanbra aina kamain khangani adu khangnaba methodology ne science ko basically me amana claim ama leira si claim se chum taragadi si taukanda adu thokani haibam lakani
logic
right yeah
logic
so test tawrani thokra thoktabra thoktre okay you discard that statement thoe you accept it at the basic bare minimum level science adune ko meena kirisina technical details kiba right anka kiba oigera ama oigera but those are skills it's like physical training maybe I'm scared of mountain climbing but if I just build up my skills conditioning exercises I'll be able to do it you know so approach to the sulaire ozada de blame tawro but generally science type of subjects fields amna information yam dense oibagi but if you approach it one step at a time then everything makes sense there are a few basic rules and logic once you apply that the entire field opens up to you
ado science adum satra du moi aptitude science ki aptitude later di science pursue to wi kana basu laitaba male na haizaningi
science ki aptitude haibasidi a karino exactly gyanta de because what I'm trying to say is that you can always train yourself it is possible it just needs to be nurtured all of us are born curious angang macha if you're spending time with small kids they'll ask you a lot of questions si kaino si kamain tawi adu kamain tawi that is the hallmark of a scientist asks questions so we already are born with the curiosity for asking questions right all we need to train ourselves to do is now how do we go finding the answers right so you have to yamna dense over information feels ignore tawraga ngaktangi step back and look at just the philosophy of science just the structure and then it becomes very easy
okay
take my word for it
thank you so much Dr. Mao do hoi break lo mina kishiko matang shwai de break amta logjage break ki matungda Dr. Mao ga mukana wari sanaduna magna puragliba educational outreach program adagi atopa mayam su khangmina kishi break ki matungda mukana taram nokchari Dr. Mao na break ki mamangda science ki ningai karsu leite akhoi je train tawradi adum kano loimak tamba ngamba ngaktani hena pan thambi khre ado mathangda khangningbasi Dr. Mao na educational outreach program akhoi Manipur gi students ka teachers singi damakta ama purakli baje si program je karino haibdo khara kupna thambi
programs aina developed away program director aina way but the idea is very simple idea do aina we'll reinvent the unate it's a very common model Harvard tawi sikuma programs and there's a similar program in Brazil basically the idea is chhatra sing Harvard tagi atopa mafam chatlaga local students to go interact over whether it is trying to replicate Harvard ki classroom in that area so just getting two different bodies of students together, they can learn a lot from each other. Harvard ki chhatra sing china curriculum dadi aina main frame do pire aduga makoina masa masa gi expertise to hape moina contribute tawre, and that is the curriculum that they are going to teach the local students.
Harvard tegi lakadorba students singse for this program moise undergraduate students.
They are undergraduate students. Amana last year graduate oigre, mana program gi assistant director oi, aduga amana second year student, and ani amna fourth year students. So they are about to graduate.
The moina tambidor is school children or colleges.
So mostly class 9 and 11 students.
Okay.
Adugi jumaram lai because class 10 and 12 they're busy for their exams, you know. But if there is somebody in class 10 that applied and is still interested to attend, then we picked them too. We selected them too.
Adagi moise kan Harvard tegi students undergraduate students in laga Manipur gi students in the interact oraga adugi program do kamai chathagadagi have just kathambi.
So it's a 5-day program next week, 15th to 19th ko.
Okay.
Basically there will be every student, so frameworks established it's based on the scientific method. You start with a question, you have curiosity, you try to find out what is the truth. Then you have to present your work, you have to publish your work. So it's part of this process. There are a lot of skills that you can teach people. So for example, team the angangamalay magi main subject area the computer science ne, but magi passions in a journalism way. So mana journalism gi core lecture ma hape. Somebody else is talking about the art of storytelling, right? So these are not focusing on content material like the science that you said that people are scared of. We are not going to teach people theory of relativity. We are developing skills like group work, teamwork. We're trying to. The program is not. It's called Program for Scientifically Inspired Learning. Right. The content is based on the framework of science, but it is not only for students interested in science. It's for everybody.
Do haziki program se kadai kari mafamda my venue do kadai da chathagni.
My old school, Don Bosco Chingamirong. Yeah, they were very. Father Francis, I have a school principal. He was very generous. He gave the school venue. He was the venue sponsor essentially.
Ado maigi students sing hozik apply tawning register tawgi hadi si kamaina tawani. School da dum laga tawba dum yarabra.
Registration loigre. Si program ge akoi select tawgre chhatra sing. We have given the acceptance letters and they got the program handbook and they got the consent form. So yeah, we have 60 students who are coming for the program.
Adudi masigi program ze handak next week ta tawni na Dr. Mao na haibi gani. Adu hek loiraga atopa zu umka in future torakada bra natraga sina dum loikhra.
Aigi plan the annual program ne.
Okay, once in a year.
Yes.
Okay. Dagi mathangda Dr. Dagi khangjaning basi as a student science or any other subject aduda higher studies tawge haibatargadi, for example Manipur gi student amana Dr. Maugumna Manipur da class 10 bhawatam me dagi Manipur da 16 formative years Manipur da leire adi matung da graduation the masters tawraga PhD da mutchatpaje na Manipur dagi satra mana smaina higher studies mapana chatke hai targadi kari darkar ta bagi kari arrangement or kari like paraga how much effort or what kind of mayam daukhat kadagi have this thambi.
Right. Definitely you should be serious in school. You should take your studies seriously, but that is not enough. Content material dudang konaroy. You also have to develop some of these soft skills that we're trying to focus in this program. Basically, if, for example, Satrama subject material yam munna khange, but express the wongamde.
Communication skills.
Right. So exactly. So when it comes to selecting, if there's an interview, then the student doesn't have that much of a chance to get in. People are really interested in well-rounded scholars. So there's this saying at Harvard that we try and make the students know everything about a small thing, and a little bit of everything. So subject ama yamna kupna khangba, aduga subject khuding maki khara khangba. So that is very important. You need to develop reading skills. You have to read, even if it is like newspapers are also sufficient. You get news about the world. You get some idea about different writing styles. So you don't need. What I'm trying to say is, you don't need special resources to develop these skills, right? Ishamak kamaina present tawgani. Adu haibusu adu suyamna important way. Networking important way.
In a positive way.
Yeah.
I did networking also kano padarom dasu already.
I don't know what is okay, maybe there is some kind of bad networking, but I'm talking about just getting to know people, right? Me, Ammanadi, we all get by helping each other, right? Aina Harvard tagi Chhatra Singh Pure, right? And they're going to interact with the students here. The Harvard students and the students from Manipur, they have 5 days to establish a relationship. Aina supposed participant oire, and nang na Harvard tagi oja oire. Aina program the thawai out there, aina interact out there kotre too much, right? Then after the program is over, aina when the email tha gadi, you won't respond, right? So as a student, I need to be aware that I need to make good connections, right? So that's how you build your network. Aina information palm taragadi from the student from Harvard. I need to make sure that at the end of the program, that Harvard student remembers my name in a positive way, right? So those kinds of things are very important. Abroad, they look at all these other things too. They don't just look at percentage kya phangi. Yeah.
Okay, not only percentage, and content knowledge to katang yeng den atopa soft skills, your communication skills, social skills. Adu mayam de yeng e haibina. Adu ma de chumme. Then what about paisadi? Paisadi asigi da magda papalom da chatla tamba haibasi.
Right.
No, everybody can afford.
I definitely could not afford if I had to pay for everything, right? PhD ki matang dadi, I can tell you, like most PhD programs are fully funded, right? So as long as you have the potential to get accepted, you will get a scholarship. Aigi PhD tamkanda, I didn't spend any more money than my flight ticket. Once I reached there, I get tuition the scholarship hange, so I don't have to pay fees. I get living I was teaching. So teaching assistantship or you get a research assistantship or you get the stipend from it, and that's enough for you to live very comfortably. So for PhD there is nothing, right? GRE pekhat habagi maybe $100, $150, but when I was playing music for 3 years, I could save up enough money to pay for those tests. Like there are ways around it. Undergraduate degree I adadi tarokte, but I Gujarat undergrad and master's tore. But now that I'm an advisor at Harvard, I know how people do it, and many universities in the United States scholarship piye. Harvard specifically, at least the top 10 colleges, I think, makoi that if you apply and you get in, and your family income is below a certain level, you're fully funded. So not many people know this, but it is true. Have the admission book phang taragadi screening process that if you pass, and if your family income is below a certain level, then you don't have to pay for anything. It's completely free.
Okay. Adagi aduna haibadi Satra amaze, student amaze, ma if he or she is really interested in pursuing higher studies, my subject to the fazna dum focus over tai adagi should kano kari kari thoi bage have the my adu do adum keep a track of what is happening my subject to that so that PhD gi kauruk pamatam da ma apply to bo yana bagi da makta.
And you know some of the application materials example hierarchy, but personal essay.
Personal
right?
essay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's say I give you the task, right? Describe yourself in 500 words, right? We don't do those sorts of exercises on a day-to-day basis, right? And you also want to make sure that as a student you spend your time such that when you sit down, essay you have good content, right? That
good content.
Yes. Did you spend your time wisely? I'm not saying you just sit and study. Let's say you went mountain climbing, right? It's still okay. It can still be a positive. Mountain climbing, let's say you started a club and you initiated something that talks about leadership skills, organizational skills, right? When you write about your essay, you can include those things. Let's say school didn't have resources to set up a animation club, let's say. I'm just saying examples that parents usually say you're wasting time. Let's say one kid is really interested in animation and there is no resources in the school, but the student sets up a club. That's a positive thing. You can talk about it in your essay.
Aduna Dr. Mao na hozik kano before kano PhD tawdringai da chahi ahum isai band da yaro isai samme adagi school da zu angang sing da takpiram me adu chahi ahum da Dr. Mao ji isai subject to like to dum paraga leibra natraga like to loin thado ga isai gum da dum leibra adu thado am taraga di chahi ahum gi matung da am ka research tawboda kaudabra.
That's what I'm trying to say. And so akoina ladies say information age ne. Which means you don't have to remember information.
Okay.
You don't have to memorize the what darkar laitre ba koi se. Aina haini is na khwaidagi maru oibasidi application of knowledge. You can find any information you need, but you need to know how to put two and two together. And that you cannot forget once you train yourself to do it.
Okay.
Right? So yes, during the 3 years, it's not like biochemistry is completely thadwe. Like interestingly, I still did it, but instead of doing it 8 to 10 hours a day, now I'm just light reading. So in 3 years, matung the PhD hokanda, yes, I had some catching up to do, but research I feel it goes at such a fast pace that I took this trip, I came back here, let's say I read 10 papers a day when I'm at my job. I'm focusing on the program. When I go back, I have a lot of papers to catch up on. So that's always there, right? But as long as you have the methodology right, you're fine. Yeah, shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, that's very inspiring. Dr. Mao ji Manipur da after 12 years lakpra or more than 12 years.
12 years, yeah. I came in June 2018.
Okay.
Yes. That was 12 years matung dane. June the aigi sigi program sigi pilot run ai sama itom dana tawgi. Don was good. Ojaga su tawgi adaga chhatra sing suga. So that was the last time I came, yeah.
Outreach program Don Bosco School da focus or han boy na tawbani Dr. Mao na do mathangda si edum expand tawbagi wakan labra. Did you get any assistance from the state government or kari plan labage sedum school amadam lotion ga dabra na daga amhan chawthan ge khanbra.
Program se venue na Don Bosco oi application the open application ne.
Okay,
so we
students
have,
from across the state.
Yes. And as far as expanding, aigi vision zidi, akoina laaga skills transfer to hune. Aina plan tawise Harvard ki students na team ama ore, another student body na akoigi high school students ore Manipur ki, And then the third team is our teaching assistants, which are college students, Manipur.
Okay.
So we have an excellent team of 5 teaching assistants, Manipur, and they're interested in education. That's why they signed up to be a teaching assistant in the program. My ideal vision for the program would be, let's say 1 year I cannot come. I cannot bring the Harvard team for any reason. Teaching assistants na programs run the wungam taragadi, I would say that my job is done. That we have successfully transferred the skills. So it can expand, essentially is what I'm trying to say. You know? It should not be limited by how many students I can bring from Harvard. Right?
Okay.
If I can get teaching assistants from here that can run the program, yeah, we can scale up as much as we want to. As far as the question of assistants ki students ki flight ticket to the internal Harvard grants that apply to a conference funds and that's just part of my professional development funds. A conference Cellular, she's a conference but so the internal funds took care of the flight tickets, and then local hospitality ki the meal support yam bhange. We have an past people of Don Bosco that said your students can stay at my guest house. You know, so accommodation the venue is not a cost at all because Father Francis na Don Bosco pire. And then for other logistics, Lamjingba group of companies, they were very generous. When a local sponsor were, so they're taking care of everything. You know, team gi chaba thakpa, and then snacks for the participants during the program, and all of that. So yeah, the program does not cost a lot of money. And one of the things that I was very that is non-compromisable is, and Lamjingba Group was very good about agreeing to those terms, is that we don't want to charge the students anything. Okay. There is no participation fee for anybody, right? And that will be for as long as the program is run, because I don't want the program to be only for students who can afford it. It should be for anybody who can fill out an application form and can make us believe that they are motivated.
Yamna phaba yamna kari pungning thaugatninga ba yamna thaganinga ba dugum program ni hai batare Dr. Mao ge program je students in mana reach out to bi base do hadak Harvard tagi undergraduate students ke adi lakani si program se damakta
Mari
lakre
Sunday the lakani
ado wari di sarabiyam nungai adu question ju yam na hangning bu yam lai how is Harvard adu hari yam khangninge adu etargasu matam se loislaklabadina program se loislak patare adu loidringai da Dr. Mao na akhoi Manipur gi su horakhi bani maite lonje dum phajana ngangi do your parents are Chinese aduna Manipur day nungshiraga hauki wani amka laga si programs tawse yamna thagatninga yamna nungai jai ado loirakpada Dr. Mao da akhoi Manipur gi students singda kari advice or tips or suggestion kari haigadagi adu khar thambina ba haiseke
aina egi summer da egi pilot program run tawdo adu da I've discovered one thing, which is students are same everywhere. They have a lot of energy. They have a lot of curiosity. There might be some circumstances that don't allow a certain student to grow, but whatever it is, it could be financial problems, it could be anything, but don't lose hope. Education is the only long-term solution
for every problem.
And they should hang on to it like a lifeboat. If things get tougher when they're students, that's the time that they should be even stronger, because they cannot let go of this. Right? And I will do whatever I can, right? And there are people who care. Right? Aina summer da laki bido Harvard ki chhatra sing na fund over trip ne. So there are even students at Harvard who are concerned about they think, okay, students in Manipur can use something like this and they will fund, you know. So there are people who care. You can always reach out. You can always reach out to people, and yeah, me currently a optimist ne hai, but I think we need a little bit of that.
Yam nungaizare Dr. Mao, thank you so much once again for yam chilam gani hoji program su laibani na ko matang next week ta laibani na adum matilo matam kai thopidina khoi studio da lecture laga science and education and the motivation simyam je thambiram bai damakta amuka hanna thagat perform doctor. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Ngasigidi Manipuri abroad diaspora speak program asi matang ashwai de loislakle mathangi episode ta atopa expert ama guest ma pudina lakchage harga miyam da kaina na baya thangni jari. Thank you.